guys, it's Eve and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm actually going to be doing my makeup. That's something that you could be into. Stay tuned and please don't forget to like and subscribe. On with the video. All right. Let's get this party started. So first things first. I just want to say that I believe that for a good makeup routine, it really begins with a great skincare routine. But that's a whole nother video, and I can definitely do that for you. And if you want to see that video, go ahead and leave a comment and like and subscribe, and I'd be happy to do that for you. So the first thing that I did was just to prep my station. Again, that's not because I'm OCD, that's just because whenever I was first starting out with putting makeup on, I didn't know what I was using and what order it needed to go in and how it was supposed to look, whether I did it right or whether I did it wrong. I just didn't know. So that's why I had it all laid out. And since I had started off like that, I've just continued like that. So I'm going to stay like that. But the first thing I always do is start with some chapstick, just a little chapstick. And tonight I'm using the Incredibles. Also, I will link everything that I'm using below so that if you choose to, you can go ahead and purchase them. And just a disclaimer, everything that I have here, you do not have to use these specific things. These are just the things that are working for me right now. Any chapstick will do. You don't have to go out and get Incredibles. And the reason why I put on chapstick first is because my lips are incredibly dry. And so I found that once I got to the end of my routine and I was putting on my lip stains or my lipstick, or not lip gloss really, but lip stains or lipstick, my lips were incredibly dry. So whenever I put it on, it looked like I was putting like lipstick on sand. It was just very grainy. There were lines. It looked very dry. There was a lot of flakes going on, and that is not cute. So I've learned through trial and error and a lot of embarrassment and pictures that I need to moisturize my lips before I do anything. And also just moisturizing your lips in general. I think that we can really overlook that lips are skin. They need to be moisturized and taken care of just as much as you would do the rest of your body, your face, head, shoulders, knees, toes, everything like that. So take care of them and they'll thank you later with beautiful pictures. So the first thing I pulled out is my beauty blender. I'm not sure if you watched 2 videos ago when I did a TJ Maxx haul, but I did go ahead and get this beauty blender. And not only is she cute, she's functional, and they work really great. I really do like them. One thing that I had an issue a lot with whenever I first started doing my own makeup was just knowing, I heard people say you need to dampen your beauty blender, and I'm like, so how do I do that? And how much is too damp? And what is that going to do for me as far as like making my finished look good? And I've learned that just a little bit goes a long way. I actually keep a shot glass on my vanity. And what I do each time I'm doing my makeup, I just put new water in it. But I just dip it in there a little bit and then I squeeze it to wring it out. If a lot of water is coming out, then I know that I've put too much, and whatever I'm going to try to do just to make everything stay and be put together, it's gonna come out a little extra moist, and then when it dries, it's just gonna look flaky. So now that my beauty blender is dampened, the next thing that I am going to do is I am going to put on my primer, and the primer that I use is the mattifying primer from the Primed and Peach line, and I'll definitely go ahead and make sure to link everything below that I am able to so that you can purchase it if you choose to. With primer, I try not to use a lot because I don't feel like it's really necessary. So think of the primer just as lotion. You're moisturizing your face, but you're also creating a barrier between your skin and the makeup that you're gonna put on, so you don't have like foundation and concealer and powder just seeping into your pores and sitting in there. I personally have very oily skin, and this one has been a godsend to help me get through the days. So I'm just gonna go ahead and whenever I do it, I just break my face up into quadrants, really. And anytime I'm putting on like any kind of liquid or a moisturizer or a primer, I always like to apply it in an upward motion. Pulling down on your skin is not good, right? And a sign of aging is sagging skin. So, I mean, keeping it real, it's gonna happen. My skin is going to sag on its own eventually, but I don't have to help it. I don't have to help it along. So when I'm putting on lotion, primer, everything, doing it up. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my damp beauty blender. And I actually get my setting powder, and the one that I'm using is the Laura Mercier. Again, it'll be linked down below, but I just dab it inside of there, and I actually just put it on my face and I let it sit for a little bit. So it's kind of like a bake before I actually even get started. And the reason why I do that is because again, I have very, very, very oily skin, and I need that additional help with the foundation that I'm going to be using this evening, which is the Pat McGrath foundation. And when I'm doing this, I am pressing it into my skin because I do want it to stay. And I try to pay special attention to the areas that I know I really get oily, which is definitely my T-zone. But also, oddly enough, I feel like I get oily like right under my eyes as well. So I normally show that area a little extra love. All right, and then with that setting powder, I normally let it just kind of sink in for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I don't put it away because I do use it again after my foundation, so I leave it on the side. All right, so it's been about 2 to 3. So we're gonna start, the next thing I'm going with is my foundation. So with the foundation, what I like to do is actually put it on the back of my hand. I know some people put it directly on their beauty blenders. Some people will use brushes. I'm not opposed to any of those methods. This is just what I do. I'll normally put it back on my hand because I feel like I can control a little bit more how much I take in with the beauty blender, because what I don't want, especially with this foundation, because it's not cheap. I think it was about like 75, 80 bucks. And because I am using a beauty blender, it is a sponge and it is going to soak up all of the foundation. And I don't want it to do all of that because then I really won't have that much to use. And then I am going to take my damp beauty blender that I did use. So it's the same beauty blender the whole time. Also, just want to point that out. I'm not grabbing new ones. It's the same one that I used whenever I was putting the setting powder. This is going to be here. And then when I go back to the setting powder, same one. One, because I don't see the sense in dirtying up additional beauty blenders if I don't have to. But 2, because I use the same products all the time. And so I don't mind them kind of blending into each other at all. And I wash them every week anyways. So I normally just start on my nose and I work my way outwards. And whenever I am putting on my foundation, I don't go past really the bottom of my lip line, like to here. I don't, just because I noticed that when I did used to do that, or if I used to take it all the way down, there used to be a stark difference in color from like right here going down, and that's what I don't want. I want to blend it. So there I am. I'm not doing a whole new pump down that way. I stopped right below the lip line, the bottom lip line, and then I blend it down. Then I go over that T-zone area just once more with the extra. And then around the world, and then I let it go. So I know you're thinking, wow, she still looks the same. And I do. This is a light to medium coverage, and I love it because it doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything. And that's super awesome. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to that powder. And again, pushing it in, because this extra layer is what's really gonna help me stay not oily for the remainder of my evening. And the next thing that I am going to do is put on some contour. This is the contour that I got from TJ Maxx, and I did list it in my last haul. So if you have not watched my TJ Maxx haul, please go watch it, like and subscribe, support your girl. So I just put it on there, and I normally first go down the bridge of my nose. And then I just put it along the edges of my face. Next thing I'm gonna put on is a little bit of blush. And again, I'm using the Your Love is King. And then I'm gonna put the blush right above where I had put the bronzer. Just to finish out my face, what I normally do is I'll do a little bit of the MAC, the Gold Deposit Skin Finish on top right here. So for that, I use a fan brush. Put it on my upper cheekbone. So the bridge of my nose, down here below my jawline, but I also do it on my Cupid's bow and on my forehead as well. Now the eyes. So in all honesty, the eyes are something I'm still working on. Not perfect at them. Also, after I do that, what I'll do just to make my eyebrows a little bit more defined is I'll take my concealer and I'll also take a thin brush as well, and I'll actually go ahead and put a little bit of concealer under there, somewhere around the top and the bottom of the brow. And this is another way, a really good way to correct the shape of your brows if you ever do make one bigger than the other or one is slanted and you don't want to pull off all of your makeup just to get your brows right. You can, one, do your brows in the beginning, which I definitely do sometimes, or two, if you notice it afterwards, you can do this. So then I'm gonna go in my blender. The reason why I keep using the same blender is because it has all of the stuff on it. It has the setting powder, it has my foundation on it, so all the color is going to blend in with the rest of my face versus going in with a fresh, brand new beauty blender that has none of that and it just taking off too much and not blending at all. And voila. So I feel like they're looking a little better. And that trick has helped me many of nights when I've been rushing to do my makeup because I did not plan ahead and give myself enough time. All right, so back to eyes. So what I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use the Too Faced, just the mattes. So I'm gonna take my large shadow brush, and then for the base, I'm going to use Fresh Picked. So this guy right here. I like this palette so much because it's toned down for what? I love matte. I think that matte is my comfort zone. It's my jam. It's where I stay. And to have a whole palette of just mattes was a dream come true. So what I did is I just put that inside of my crease area, but I'm also going to add it to my eyelid area. And I really like this color because it is close to my skin tone. So I know if I do mess up or if I do decide to go with another look, it's something I can easily build on. And two, it's just a beautiful color. Whatever I would use next is really gonna depend on what I'm wearing because I do believe in accessorizing with your eyes and your nails. Since I am not going anywhere fancy schmancy and it still is winter, I think I'm gonna go with a little bit of a darker color. So I am trying to stay with a color that's similar to the blush that I have. So I think I'm gonna go with the Peach Punch. I can always just go back to my Fresh Picked, that base color, and then just add more and it'll take away some of the color if I don't feel comfortable with how it's going. So then I'm just gonna blend up a little bit. I used to think that you're supposed to put color all the way up there. And like I said, it's been a journey and I was looking real crazy in these streets. Thank God I had friends that were like, hey sis, that's not what you're supposed to do. And they helped me get it right. Still got a long way to go, like I said, but I'm feeling good about the journey. So it's just very subtle. I'm not a very dramatic person. I just like a little bit of color. This is something that I would be fine with. And I would honestly feel comfortable leaving my house wearing anything inside of this. So lastly, I am going to put on some mascara. And the mascara that I'm using today is going to be the Clinique High Impact Mascara. So putting on mascara is also a portion of the makeup routine that I used to dread just because I used to get fallout everywhere. But I love the way that my eyelashes look when they're sky high, so I really had to learn. And I did everything to like putting tape around my eyes or even just having a towel there or just taking a super long time to do it. So still working on that, but this one and the Pat McGrath mascara are tried and trues. They do not have fallout. They do not clump together. They are so easy to put on, and they're even easier to take off. And I can do a get unready with me as well. I'll show you how I take off my makeup, what skincare products I use afterwards, and how I just replenish my skin from the day. Because putting on makeup a lot of the times, all day, every day for prolonged periods of time, really is also, in my opinion, not great for your skin. Your skin's gonna need to breathe, and for it to do that, it's gonna need to not have anything on it. So I try to do that at least once or twice a week. Just go fresh face, which I really do love. And I think my fresh face days are my favorite, not because I don't spend time putting on makeup, just because I feel good. Like I feel confident in the skin that I'm in, whether I have makeup on or not. So mascara. And so I start at the base, and then I wiggle my way up while I'm rotating the wand. And then with the bottom lash line, just lightly, I kind of do this motion where I like, because my bottom lash line hairs just kind of go everywhere. They're really weird. So I do this motion where I like, as I'm lightly doing it, I'm pulling them to the center of my eyes. So in the beginning, I moisturize my lips. Happy to report, lips are still moisturized. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just, I have this stain from Stila. It's a stay all day stain, and the color is Amore. I love stains. They're kind of the in-between between like a lipstick and a lip gloss. But the main reason I love them is because they stay on all day. So with my stain, I'll only put on the bottom and carefully rub it in. And if I do need a little bit more on the top, I can definitely go ahead and do that just to shape my lips. And that it is. Generally what I could do and would do at some point would be to put on a lip liner. I do not have any. I need to get some. Probably gonna do it at Sephora whenever I go on vacation. I love going to Sephora and other places just because our Sephora here is really small. We have multiple Sephoras that are like 30 minutes apart, but they all carry the same thing and they're all very small. So like the Pat McGrath foundation, I had to get that when I was in California and in New York because we didn't have it here. And I didn't want to order something like that, expensive foundation online, without making sure it was matched to my color and without talking to one of the sales associates about it. Also, I love my Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. This is another one of my tried and true eyeshadows that I use, and it's great because for eyeshadow, this is all that I use. I don't need a base color, I don't need a lid color, I don't need anything like that. I just use this, and this is the Marie Antoinette color. Yeah, products like that, they don't sell in my Sephora, so I either have to go to big cities to get them or I go online to get them. But yeah, so I am going to pull off this headband and show you the final look. And finally, to finish off this look, I would use the Peach Mist setting spray, again from Too Faced Peach line. Super awesome. So the first thing I do is I shake it up. The reason why I shake it up is because this setting spray has powder in it. And so a lot of people complain when they just put it on and they're like, I've got all these white dots on my face. And that's because the powder's in there, and that's what helps it stay matte and oil resistant throughout the day. So in order to mix that with the liquid so you get a fresh mist that's not full of powder, you have to shake it. And also, it also says it on the bottle. Not trying to like point out the obvious and make anybody feel bad about anything, but it does say it on the bottle. And then what I'll do is I'll just keep it about 6 to 9 inches away, and then I really do spray my whole face. Again, my face super oily. I know it comes from not drinking enough water. I'm working on myself, but yeah, this is great. So but yeah, after that, you're good to go. And voila. So this is the final look. Definitely love this look. It's one of my everyday favorites. This is something that I would wear if I was going out with girlfriends to happy hour, if my husband and I were going on a date, if my mother and I were spending a girls' day together and we're going shopping. I feel like this is a very versatile look for me that can go with anything that I'm gonna wear for any casual occasion. Go ahead and clock me. Love it. And I hope you do too. This is my first makeup tutorial, so I'm super excited that I was able to share my routine with you. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to go ahead and leave them down below, and I'd be happy to answer. And not an expert, not at all, just someone that has had a lot of learning experiences, if we want to call them that. And I picked up a few things, tips and tricks along the way. So thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I'm so grateful. It is not lost on me that YouTube is a big, vast universe, and I'm so glad that you chose to spend this time with me. It makes me feel special. If you want to see more videos from me, please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe and say hey in the comments. I'm very, very social, and I'd love to get to know you. Thanks. Bye.